Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin is afraid of what an upcoming international peace summit can achieve. Zelensky was speaking in the northeastern Kharkiv region, where Russian forces have recently launched a renewed push. Missile strikes killed at least 7 civilians and wounded 21 others on Thursday. The strike also hit the country's largest printing facility, destroying 50,000 books. Russia's Kharkiv push appears to be a coordinated new offensive and is stretching thin Ukraine's depleted ranks, exhausted by more than 2 years of war. But the General Staff struck an upbeat note at a press conference on Friday, saying the situation there was under control.
Italy pledged tens of millions of euros to support Palestine as they hosted the Palestinian Prime Minister. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni received Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa in Rome. During the trip, Mustafa also met with the Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani. Italy announced new funding for the Palestinian population, a total of €35 million.
Noi abbiamo detto che vogliamo che ci sia un negoziato che porti al mutuo riconoscimento tra Israele e lo Stato palestinese. Iniziative unilaterali non sono utili alla soluzione del conflitto, perché l'obiettivo principale è la pace, che porti alla nascita di uno Stato palestinese che riconosca Israele e sia riconosciuto.
5 million of the new package will go to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, while the other 30 million will head to the Food for Gaza initiative. Israel previously accused the UNRWA of collaborating with Hamas during the October 7th attack, but a UN report found no evidence of this.
The European Union has slammed Russia's removal of buoys on the Narva River, marking the border with Estonia, as unacceptable. Russian border troops removed 24 of the 50 buoys early on Thursday morning. They've been on the river for decades to prevent navigation errors. Tensions on the border have risen since Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. EU Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell called their removal provocative. Crowds have marched through Tbilisi in protest against the approximately 200 arrests made during weeks of rallies against a foreign influence law. The bill requires media to register if they receive more than 20% of their funding from abroad. Critics say it could derail the country's chances of joining the EU. Parliament passed the law on May the 14th, but it was vetoed by the President 4 days later. But the ruling party has a majority sufficient to override that veto. The southeastern town of Saint-Tropez on the French Riviera has constructed a temporary village to house seasonal workers. The prefabricated units will house around 47 people, with each paying a monthly rent of €100. The town's mayor says there's a shortage of temporary accommodation to house the security guards, cultural staff and youth and sports workers who come to work in the town every summer. Workers and tourists can push the summer population up to around 100,000. A 12-metre tall cross has been installed on top of Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral. A crane lifted the 19th century cross onto the wooden frame of the choir portion of the cathedral. The event marks a significant milestone ahead of the cathedral's expected reopening to the public in December. The cross survived the devastating fire in 2019 that destroyed the cathedral's roof and caused its spire to collapse.